Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking at a Toyota Noah. This one here, a 2004 with just 40,000 kilometers on it. It was bought from auction here in Japan. We're going to be shipping this one over to Papua New Guinea, which is a country that we don't normally ship too many to, but of course we can ship to any country as long as you can legally import. Now I'll switch the engine off to begin with. You can see that it runs fine. There is no issue at all. It's a Toyota. It has 40,000 original kilometers on it, as you can see. And so therefore, of course, it's not going to have any mechanical problems. Okay, so inline 4-cylinder transversely mounted. This one here is a 2-liter engine. Okay, there's nothing much to talk about with the engine. It is a little bit dusty in here, so it needs to be cleaned. I mean, it doesn't need to be cleaned out, but it'd be nice to get that cleaned out. The oil is fine. The coolant is also fine. So we'll just close the hood here. Okay, quick look at the vehicle. And in case you were wondering, there are two vehicles that Toyota makes that have basically the same looks. The Toyota Noah and the Toyota Voxy are the same basic platform. They just share different front fascias, different headlight design, grille design, bumper design, that sort of thing. Interior is slightly different, but for the most part, they're the same vehicle. Here's the auction inspection sheet. I'm just going to translate this for you. It's a 2004 Noah. SV Selection is the sub model. It's a 2-wheel drive model. You can get them in 4-wheel drive if you want. 2000cc engine, 40,521 kilometers, auction grade 4 with an interior C and an exterior C, interior B, which seems about reasonable there. C grade interior due to some fairly heavy scratches on the back quarter. Okay, the only sales point is it's purchased from user. It's original pearl white there, and the report here says interior scratched and dirty. And that's basically it. It is a grade 4 vehicle. There's not a lot to go off of. A1 here, you can see those are all minor scratches. Except for the front bumper here has a little bit larger scratches than A1. I would say maybe an A2. Okay, so I'll take you for a tour around the vehicle so you can see it all the way around. I do think it's funny that Toyota made not one but 2 versions of this van, which is not much different from its very popular van, the Toyota Estima. But I guess they wanted to sell to people who wanted minivans that were a little bit less aerodynamic, I guess. The boxy design, I think, appeals to some people, and Toyota has a lot of product overlap. There are, near 15 different vehicles that are on the same platform as our BB over there, including the Vitz and the Fun Cargo and the Probox and the Prius and so many other vehicles on a same engine, same platform kind of thing. Okay, so this is 2 sliding doors on this one, fairly modern looks. This was a very popular vehicle here in Japan for many, many years. It still continues to be one of their best sellers. Actually, I don't know the statistics, I'm just guessing because I see them everywhere. They're probably more common than the Estima, and this is a little bit lower in the market than the Estima is as well. That said, plenty of space inside. The boxy design leads to a lot of usable space on the interior. They're comfortable to drive, fuel efficient, and reliable. So, good vehicle. Okay, so some of the details. First off, there is a little bit of fade on the top chrome piece of the grille here. There's the N logo there for Noah. Headlights are pretty large, a little bit faded on this one over here. You can see it's a touch yellow compared to the one on the other side, which also is a touch yellow, but less so. Okay, and those can be polished up if you want to clear them up. They're definitely not too far gone for that. The front bumper has a kind of an aggressive look to it with fog lights integrated in it. It's quite nice. You look down here and you can find some of those scratches. Now keep in mind, they called this A1, but I think it's they probably didn't notice the extent to the scratches in that area. Continuing on right here. Okay, and we head over here. We do have parking sonar, that's what this is. It'll beep when you get too close to something. We've got some more scratches down here. And one right here. Okay, now the overall paint condition is pretty good. It's not the best, but the vehicle is closing in on 20 years now. And oftentimes minivans don't get waxed and polished like many other types of cars do. And it leads to just the original coating getting worn and worn and worn until it goes away. But this one still has plenty of life left in it. This area here, they considered this an A2 scratch. I would say this is more like an A3. You can see some scratches here. They don't stand out an awful lot, but there are plenty of them altogether. Okay, and then the back bumper, as you recall, is an A3. So this area here, and going on down here, this is just dirtiness. The top here has a scratch right on the edge, and I think the finish has actually gotten a little bit damaged. So you might be able to, yeah, you can wash that off, it looks like. Never mind. Then we got some scratches along here and up here. So this definitely qualifies as an A3. For some auctions, A3 is the highest level of scratch, whereas others it's A4. This one here, A3, is the highest level. Okay, and we got some scratches there. Now dent-wise, we're not really seeing any dents. Everything looks clean and nice as we come down here. This section here is made out of plastic, and so that protects from rust and corrosion and whatnot. And from what I've seen, these Toyota Noahs don't really suffer from corrosion like some vehicles do. So a 20-year-old one, it's very rare to see any corrosion on it anywhere. Okay, the roof is good. The vehicle's kind of dirty. You can see the windshield is dirty. Just came in from the auction like this. Okay, so let's go to the interior. That's most of the reason why you go with a minivan. Here in Japan, minivans are still extremely popular. Probably even more so than SUVs are. Okay, so it is an 8-seater. And these rear seats you can fold out of the way if you want more cargo room. When the vehicle came in, they were pre-folded out of the way. You get a decent amount of space in the back here for everyday use, and then more space if you want to flip these to the side. So this flips forward, and then the whole thing flips up to the side. Here you get a storage compartment that's quite deep and very usable, and then you can hide stuff in there if you don't want it to be stolen. Of course, you don't want anything to be stolen, but it's up to you if you want to use that. Very easy to use levers here to flip the seats up to the side. It's some vehicles it's a little bit harder than others. This one's a little bit easier than your average one. Side panels in here are all in good condition. Minivans often get damage on these sections, so you can see a little bit of scratching down here. Okay, now the Honda Step Wagon of this era had rotatable seats that would rotate on an axis right here that would go into a storage container underneath. It's a little bit nicer packaging than this. So if you are looking for that, the Honda Step Wagon does that. And I would say that this is very comparable to a Step Wagon. I like both Toyotas and Hondas, but I feel like Honda makes a little bit of a better vehicle, Honda versus the Voxy, but they are so similar to one another that it's not really that different. If you worry about your power steering pump going, you probably want the Toyota though. Hondas are known for that. Okay, so one thing about the Voxy that's nice is you get 4 power windows that you can roll down. I think on the Step Wagon you only get 3 for some reason. But that changed to 4 in the generation afterwards. Anyways, yep, seats back here. These seat backs, they can flatten if you want to make them a little bit more comfortable. It's very, very easy to get into the back of this. You just pull this, and as you can see, it double flips like that. For a kid to do it, it's probably not that dangerous, but it does flip, as you can see, fairly quickly. Very easy to get into the back, and plenty of room in the back here, plus seats that aren't too close to the floor, so that makes them more comfortable for adult-sized people to sit in here. And just like the midsection, these can be reclined more if you need them to be. Okay, well enough headroom up here for somebody who is like, you can take a look at me. Hello. Lots of headroom there. And is it easy to get out? Let's see. I'll pop this back up into place, and I don't know where the handle is for that, so maybe we're trapped in here. That's a little bit weird. You'd think it'd be easier. I can see the handle that you use for, like this one over here. You can reach for it. That's a big reach. And I don't see anywhere on there that you can delatch it without reaching that far. Well, that could be a feature if you don't want your kids to get handsy with the handles. I remember when I was a kid, would always pull that on my sister so that she would go, whoa, and fall down in the seat. So, yeah. Okay, sliding door on both sides. These ones aren't power ones, but I believe that you could get them as an option. I don't know which versions would have them as an option, but during this time, power sliding doors were all the rage. Personally, for me, hit or miss. It's one more thing to break, which is annoying. It's also slow for the power sliding doors if you want to get in or out quickly. And if someone's not expecting them to be power doors, it can be a little bit annoying to yank the handle and then have the door do its own thing without you and like drag you along or whatever. Yeah. For me, I really wouldn't pay extra for power sliding doors, but it can be a nice little feature, like opening the doors for your kids before they get to the car. Okay, as you can see, it's needs a vacuum, but generally speaking, everything is in good condition. Okay, steering wheel is in excellent shape, 40,000 original kilometers, so keep that in mind. Power folding mirrors, of course. You get a little extra slot to put things like a phone or something behind there. It's a little bit of nice detail for packaging. Dashboard, I don't think these are prone to cracking. I don't know the Noah that well, but some of the Toyotas of this era did have troubles with cracking dashboards. You come over to this side and you get an upper glove box and a huge lower glove box. Okay, a little shelf down there. Driver gets no such shelf. Cup holders, these feel very similar to my 2001 BB over there. Ashtray that's never been used and has no bad smell in here. That box in there is for tolls for Japanese highways. The AC works nice and well. These are really, really simple. You just set the temperature that you like. There's 23 degrees, 30 degrees. I much prefer this style compared to the ones where you press a button, because if you want to go from say 27 to 17, you're like instead of like that. Much easier. The fan is a little bit weird. It's usually a dial on most cars. This one here, it's like here's a mid fan, here's a high fan, and you just push part of the pentagon, I guess. Same thing goes with this one here. Makes it fairly easy to push what you want, so no complaints. Another slot here, a Navi screen. I think this is the original one, has a reverse camera in it. Toyota did the a double DIN OEM style, unbranded. Grace Note CDDB. Don't know what that is. An MP3. So maybe you've got some Japanese music in the hard drive of that. Don't know. I know that many cars, like one that we just bought for our company, had Japanese music in it. It's kind of fun. Okay. So, it's simple, reliable, good condition, great van. So that's going to be the end of the report here. And as usual, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for everyone who watched, and have a nice day.